Hello. Wait, is this? Yep. All right. Let me just make sure this is working. How's it going, everybody? And so if this is new, just know, my name is Skylar, and in this video, I'm going to kind of talk about how I HODL, right? Sweet, it's working. Um, I actually just moved to a new place as well. My little setup isn't really quite set up yet. But and I wasn't gonna do a stream, but I figured I might as well hop on. But I figured I kind of want to talk about something that I get a lot of people, and it's understandable. I get it. I just kind of think it's funny that kind of freak out when it comes to bear markets, when it comes to a 20% crash in a day or whatever. I get these texts or like, is Bitcoin crashing, or whatever. And I guess you know they're like, are you selling? Are you freaking out? And I think you've been in crypto long enough, you don't freak out. But and there's a couple ways I guess you could manage it. But what makes it really easy for me is just kind of knowing what Bitcoin is. And so I think a lot of people just don't understand what Bitcoin is or care about what Bitcoin is and what it does. And so for me, when I finally realized what Bitcoin could do, and I guess this is kind of what I was going to talk about for a little bit. As you see, the U.S. dollar, it's ranked number 9, and there's like 160, 70 currencies out there and pretty much all the currencies peg the United States dollar, but it's worth, compared to the United States dollar, just in the top 20, you have down to 31 cents. So and you see like a random, like, this is oil, right? These two are oil. Oil, right? A lot of these are just oil. Then you got the British pound sterling, the Cayman Island, euro, Swiss franc, and then the U.S. dollar, right? And you start recognizing some of them. But the point is, and by the way, these are like populations of, I don't know, but I bet like none of these are bigger than New York City, or something. That could be wrong, but I guess my point is they're not like huge nations, obviously. They're like oil nations, but at any rate, so this is just a little list of the top, the worst currencies out there. You have one U.S. dollar equaling 1.5 million Venezuelan dollars, right? They're bolivars or whatever, right? Bolivars. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is one of the most hyperinflated currencies around recently, right? And what do you do when you're a citizen in this country and your currency is hyperinflating? Like, your cup of coffee is going up a few cents every single day you go. It's like, a few cents more than it was the day before. So I don't know what it. Sorry, let me just pop this on. I never trust the chat. And so for me, I mean, I do feel really privileged. I mean, like, hit the lottery, right? You're, living in the United States, and just being born in this country compared to a lot of these other countries, right? That you could have been born into. And what do you do? And I understand. I don't know. It was always surreal to me growing up that like people were okay with like people dying in other countries, and it was like, if we have the money, why doesn't why don't we do it? Like it never, and it was like, well, kind of get to a point where you're working and you need to keep up with the Joneses, or I don't know what the deal is, right? Things just cost money because everything around you costs money, and you're in this place that I don't know what ends up happening, but yeah, I mean, I know personally, like I see homeless people, um, and I just don't know. It's like, are you trying to scam me? Are you really homeless? You know, is this gonna? Oh, by the way, I always drink something. My wife got me a Trader Trader Jose. She got it from Trader Joe's. It's a place that it's like a grocery store place. Um, anyways, it's kind of funny. Interesting. It tastes very much like Corona. Oh, I just said the word I wasn't supposed to say. Bow, 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 bow. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so anyways, for me, I think it would be cool to live in a world where people actually cared and knew how to help. I think a lot of people just don't know how to help. They don't know like what. I mean, for me, I'm very suspect on a lot of stuff. Hey, what's up, Chuck? I'm very suspect on a lot of anything presented to me. I'm just like, where's the scam, And so sometimes it's hard to find like where's the right place to put money that can actually give the most help. So I think what Bitcoin does is it puts. I mean, I know what Bitcoin does is it puts the entire world on an equal playing field, and everybody can access this currency of Bitcoin wherever they are. And so people in the United States are like, oh, Bitcoin's dumb. Well, if people in Venezuela could access the Bitcoin network, and if they built businesses on Bitcoin, Bitcoin went for 60K to 30K, and now it's up to 45, 50K, right? Okay, well, is that better than what they've been going through, and you start looking at the bottom. I don't know how to find a list of every single country. All countries' currencies. Okay, this isn't really helping you there. Ranked by value. Anyways, the reason why this is important, I guess, is because this is what I would like to do. I would like to help people in Venezuela have the same opportunity that I do when it comes to accessing the markets, right? I can get on Robinhood and throw a few bucks here and there and buy some Doge and gamble with, whatever, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity. I guess they do with Doge, right? But we just have financial services here in the United States, but a lot of people don't. So I think it would be, I mean, I always thought that this was inevitable, but I think when we tried to create the Federal Reserve, we wanted a banking system that wasn't owned by the government, and was owned by the people, and then all of a sudden, sneakily, the big businesses, and you know who they are. I mean, people know who they are, right? I mean, the people in the meetings, Rockefellers and Citibank and Chase or whatever, right? But anyways, and it became a big business, and now the Federal Reserve is it's a business, right? And so I think what the people had the right idea back, 100 or so years ago, because there's this crashes happening all the time. But by the way, there still are crashes. For every like 8 or 15 years, there's like a big crash that happens. All right. I mean, I wasn't around for I was young for the 1987 one, but there was the 1987, the 1999. The 2008. Now we got the 2020. So I think now we have an opportunity to create a open source currency that the entire world can access, And now that the entire world can access it, everybody can be on the same playing field. And the nice thing about Bitcoin is it's all done by code. It's all done by, by nothing can be sneakily done. The way that it was designed, and it wasn't just like some guy who just made up one code. It was all these people. He was taking codes from all this. This has been building from Nick Zabos. Has been building. I think he did his. Was it e-gold, e-cash, whatever, in was it the 80s or something like that, 90s or something like that, right? And now it's kind of gotten to the point where you can have a currency and it can put the entire world on the same playing field when it comes to a world economy, and it's not controlled by any big bank or any a few billionaires or something like that. And anybody can access it. And as of right now, anybody could profit from running the network, helping run the network. So, I just figured eventually, like, this whole, like, I'm born under the American flag, and that makes me better than anybody else, and my problems are, I was listening to this economist talk, and he's like, you complain about the 1%, and he's like, but when you take everybody in the world, the average income is $30,000. So if you're making more than $30,000, or sorry, not the average income, but to be above the 1%, you'd have to be making over $30,000. So it's like, well, if you're making over $30,000, then you are the 1%. And the guy's like, well, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not talking about the whole world, just the United States. And it's like, well, why are you talking about just the United States? Do those people not matter over there? And it's like, I totally agree with that, right? So I would like to live in a world where people anywhere in the world could access the same exact systems as everybody else. Everybody has the same access to, to the same access I have to anything. I think somebody in Venezuela should have the same access, or Greece or anywhere, right? And so I have a really strong belief in that, and so these little dips don't bother me. Plus, after you've been in a while, it doesn't matter what dips you have. It hasn't dipped under what you got it for, right? So I can't remember the price it was when I bought it, but it would have to crash down to the 600 to 1200 range or something like that. So once you're in, I've only been in since 2016 as well. So, if you got in since 2018, hey, heck, if you got in since 2020, since the beginning of 2020, it was at $3,000 at one point, right? Now it's at 45, so it goes up to 100. What if it goes up to $500,000 and then it crashes down to 80,000? Well, heck, you're still double what you are at right now. Just in 12 months later, you made 100% gain. That's freaking amazing. Anyways, so I'm very much I want to play the long game, and also I think this is an opportunity for us as people to create a technology. I mean, this technology is being created right now. The groundworks are being done, and we can help build it. We can help find the projects that are gonna, So it's funny because a lot of my picks are very emotional in the sense that what is Ethereum building? Is it something I personally believe in and I think would do good in the world, help make things easier, more honest, open, whatever? Do I like the people who are building it? Do I feel like they're con men? There's like a whole process I go through when I research projects. Obviously, like, there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's kind of how I make decisions now when I find projects that I like. Or are these building something I believe in? Is it like, for example, Binance Coin. I don't hold Binance Coin anymore, and people are like, well, why not? Why, do you think Binance is gonna? Oh, and XRP, both of these, actually, I don't hold. And people are like, well, you think XRP is gonna crash and it's gonna go to zero? No. In fact, I think Binance Coin and XRP are gonna do very well. I think if you're holding them in a long term, I think 5 years, both of these tokens are going to do phenomenal in price. I would imagine. Oh, look, it's actually over $1. It's doing really well. Um, but I don't really like the centralization that Binance Coin is doing, and I don't really care for the fixing the current broking system by putting a band-aid on it type of vibe that XRP is currently going for. So if I invested tons of money in XRP and it crashed, I would be worried in the sense of I'm in it for the money. I'm in it for the pump, and is XRP, you know. But if it's something where I believe they're building a great project, by the way, Ethereum and Bitcoin have crashed big time a lot of times and recovered. So I'm also not saying that like if XRP even crashes, it's not going to go back up. But I just don't care. If I hold I hold Bitcoin because it's my number one project. It's the one that brought me on board, and I believe in Bitcoin more than any other project out there. I'm a huge Luxo fan, but Luxo is building something I would love to have in this world, and I think it could do a lot of really cool things with brands, bring a lot of people. I think it's going to help like bring a lot of people that are working for other people, and it's going to give them the ability to work for themselves. I think it's going to be able to help people that don't have well established brands communicate with those that do. There's so many cool things I love of Luxo. They've been building an NFT platform before you even heard of NFTs, probably, unless you heard about it in like 2017. But they've been building it for a couple of years now. NFTs have only been big for like the last 6 months or 8 months or something. So I love the project. And I think that Fabian's freaking great. His wife is fantastic. I think they both are hard workers. They both have great ideas. They're both forward thinkers. And I think they're both good people. When you talk to them, it's not about the money. It's about building a great, worthwhile project. That being said, Bitcoin there's been a problem that the entire world's never been able to fix, and that is getting people, when it comes to finances and it comes to actual money, putting everybody on the same playing field. And I think Bitcoin is a freaking great step forward. And I'm also not saying that Bitcoin is going to be the number one and nothing else is going to overtake it. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not, I think if there was a code, Bitcoin's open network, so if there's someone that was able to create a better code than Bitcoin would just adapt the code, right? No one owns it. Who are you going to take to court, right? Bitcoin's a network money, money for the people. So like, if somebody on the network is like, oh my gosh, I found a great way, then they'll be like, sweet, let's adapt it, and then they'll all vote on it, and then now Bitcoin is the better money, and it's still Bitcoin, right? So if you have a better code, even though it's different from the current Bitcoin code, you just implement it, and now it is the Bitcoin code. And if everybody decides, yeah, that sounds good, yeah, let's mine it, let's start running the network, and then great, now it's the new Bitcoin, right? So yeah, I'm obsessed with Bitcoin. I don't care, and if it dropped back down to 3K, I wouldn't be running. I would be dumping money into it, right? If and who knows if the whole economy crashes, it could take the crypto markets with it. You know, I mean, it did before, right? Then the crypto markets recovered crazy faster, right? But yeah, so I'm a big holder of Polkadot as well. I really like what Gavin Wood's doing. Um, I just recently put some money in Solana, not a very small bag, and I didn't even post that I did it because it's not a big. It wasn't a big enough bag. I was more so. I don't know if anybody does this, but if you like kind of, I hear about a project a lot and I'm like, yeah, I kind of like it and I hear good things or whatever. I'll kind of dump a small enough bag in it and then I hold it there more as a, what do you call it, like a watch list. And then it's like, I know it'll do well. I'm not worried about losing money in this, but I don't want to put a huge amount in until I just dive deep into it type of vibe. That's what I just did with Solana, but well, I did it actually around the $100 mark, which was like few freaking days ago, by the way. Jeez. But yeah, I like Chainlink. I think when it comes to oracles, it's dominating, and so whatever Chainlink does, if it drops down to 14 again, I'm not going to freak out because I know what the project is. I know who's building it. I know the need for it. And now I don't have the same belief in Chainlink as I do Bitcoin or Ethereum. So obviously some of these projects I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I believe in it enough. Right? Uniswap, I think it's the best decentralized exchange. I think they're killing it, and I think they're probably going to dominate the market. So as I invest in these projects, like Tron, for instance, I don't have any Tron. Oh my gosh, is that a penny? Okay, I actually think I invested into Tron when it was about this price, maybe a tiny bit under, half a penny under, a quarter of a penny under. It was when I first got into crypto, and it exploded. When was it? It was 2017. It pumped up to like 26 cents. I made so much money off of Tron, and then I was like, "What the freak is? How did this happen?" And then I think I threw it into one of these top tier coin of Bitcoin or Ethereum after the profits, and I was like, "Yeah, to the moon, Bitcoin." Oh, jeez. Anyways, but yeah. A lot of these I have Graph, Monero, Aave. I don't have huge bags of these, but um, Kusama is another big one, right? Um, that's actually one of my bigger wallets, and again, I've been at Kusama since $8, right? And it sucks, when people say, "Oh, I did 1,000x." Oh, so you're a gajillionaire. Well, I threw like $80 in it. um, it was one of those type of vibes. I didn't throw $80 in it, but yeah, yeah. When Polkadot was, I luckily got on the Polkadot train like 8 months before Polkadot ended up launching, and so there's a lot of really cool projects that came out. But Kusama is like not the test network, but essentially, if something works on Kusama, it's probably going to go on Polkadot. But still ran by Gavin Wood and all that sort of stuff. So again, by the way, and Kusama was at 600 and some odd bucks. It crashed down to like 300 or freaking 2, or geez, I don't know. It was crazy, way low. I didn't even bat an eye because I knew it would go back to 600. The whole market isn't crashing down. And by the way, if the whole market was crashing down, then it's not like Kusama's going under. The market's going under. I don't know. I think in 5 years, not like these ups and downs aren't gonna matter. And I realized that when, like, for example, Cardano, I was like, at 3 cents, I was like, I don't know. I did throw a. It's hard to say what a decent bag is depending on who you are and how much money you got put into stuff like this. But I have a 9 to 5 job, so all the money that I have made has been by finding projects or whatever. But and in case you don't know, on my Twitter, I've been pinning since August of last year. I've been pinning all of my big trades, all my favorite projects, and almost all of these I actually already have. I just wanted to post to the year what my favorite coins are or whatever. And I know a lot of these are not 1,000x projects, but these are going to do freaking fantastic in 5 years, I believe. Anyways, and that's kind of how I trade. Warren Buffett hates crypto, but I kind of feel like I trade like Warren. I mean, I try. I trade like Warren Buffett. I mean, I do have a better success rate than he does, but just kidding. But but yeah, I've been saying that since Cardano at 3 cents, right? I've been really liking that project. Yet, if I would have thrown, a few $1,000s in it, five, heck, I could have sold my car and got quite a bit, throwing that into Cardano. Who knows what that'd be right now, right? I'm not gonna do the math. Don't make me depressed, right? So I think the name of the game for me is find projects that I freaking believe in. You know, and Luxo, it's climbed up in the rank. Oh, it's 1550. Good job. It's been climbing back up, but Luxo has been a project I've been holding on for a year or so. I don't know how long it's been. Since it was 40 cents, I think was my lowest, the lowest I got in it. And I think my average in is actually $5 now. I decided to kind of go heavy in a while ago, just because this is when it comes to projects I believe in and I actually want to succeed. I want a project like Luxo to succeed. I think they're going to provide great value. I think, so I have friends, because this was at $18 and it went down to like 10. I went down to like 10 or 9 or something. I had friends freaking out, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude. I always talk about when I say like, oh my gosh, I'm mostly just I don't mind if people ask me questions and freak out or whatever. In fact, if you freak out, it's okay to call friends who are watching this. But if I laugh at you, just don't be offended. But yeah, so I hold projects for long term, and it's funny because also online, all you do is see people that succeed. Oh, this person threw $500 or $50 in this, and now they made 30 grand. This person threw in, they sold their car and and turned 12,000 into 5.4 million. Oh, this NFT that someone bought for $50 just sold for 1.2 million. You hear stories like that all the time, but it's not the norm. It's not like everybody is doing that. And I think like people just get distracted and they think everyone's making gajillions of dollars, and they're not, and so they got to do all these trades and, oh, this is new. Oh, have you heard about this? Oh, have you heard about this? So I need to be a little bit more like that, because I've kind of like, I don't care about new projects. Like I'll kind of zip to a couple of things before reading the white paper. I figure out who's running it, where, and then I start I start typing in everyone's name. I'm like, scam, fraud. And then I'm just trying to find dirt, and then if I can't find any dirt, and then I'll start like investigating it or whatever, or like, okay, now I have a little bit more of an open mind. But I wish I was quicker, because and I do think in the next like 6 to 12 months I might be able to do crypto full time. We'll see how well crypto does for me, but that would be nice. And not on YouTube. I mean, I don't make any money off this, but anyways, that's for another video. But yeah, so if you're zipping around trying to find projects that will 10x overnight, I would imagine that's a very stressful life. And I did that a little bit. I've always had my holdings, but I always gambled with a little portion of it. But there's a graphic that I'm not gonna pull up, but I don't want to search for it, but essentially it shows like a day trader's life, and it shows like a bajillion screens, like something I would totally love. And then it shows a hodler's life, and then it shows just somebody in like on the beach in a hammock. I was like, dang, that's pretty freaking accurate, right? Because you just find projects that you believe in long term. 5 years, come on, that's not very long. And what happens if Bitcoin goes to 150,000, then drops down to 10,000? Is Bitcoin now a scam? So, or do you think it now, or do you think it's going to hit its all-time highs again, right? So if you believe in the project, you see the value, and I know a lot of people like, I don't know how to find the right project, so I understand that is a problem as well. because it is a nightmare, especially when you look at CoinGecko.com. By the way, if you're unfamiliar, it's pretty much the best freaking website when you want to find coins. Just type in the coin, you can find out where to buy them and how much it costs, charts, all that sort of stuff. But anyways, there's 9,305 token coins currently on 2 exchanges or more. There's been hundreds of thousands of tokens created. I remember I once said on the video, I don't watch my videos over again because I say a lot of inaccurate information without realizing it. I know what the accurate information is, but my words, for some reason, they just say a different number. And I'm like, oh, it's actually 18%, not 42, but whatever. And I'm like, and so it stresses me out. So I don't really watch them. But on one of them I said, there's been 300,000 or 400,000 tokens, I think is what I said. And there's been way more than that. I mean, think about how many people, I can create a token right now in like 20 minutes. I don't know, probably 5 if I was good, but it's probably going to take me 20. So obviously there's, since the Ethereum ERC20 token came out, a lot of projects have been building like crazy. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch base with everybody. I will just let you know, I will be going off. I'll be doing Skystroke live solely on streams at the beginning of next year. So I would like at least 100 subs just so I can stream from my car, because that's kind of what I want to do. I want to just use my phone, right? And I always have like 20 minutes in between doing things or something like that, and so that way I can just talk all, when people freak out, I'm just like, well, it's Tuesday right now, I'm not gonna do my live stream for for another week pretty much. Can you hold off on your questions, because I don't want to have the same conversation with 9 people until then. Thanks. Right. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to subscribe to the other one. Holy crap, I'm almost at 4,000 subs. That's cool. I have not been doing very well at being a good YouTuber. I've been, I never really considered myself a YouTuber, but, I know you're supposed to post all the time and stuff like that, but, yeah, I'm kind of having, I don't know what you want to call it, but, I don't really care about talking about all these projects, and, like, none of that matters. And I feel like crypto positions like a really cool opportunity for people that want, like, I don't know, I want to talk about things that I feel like matter and could make a difference and could help others, and I just haven't quite figured out my vibe yet. But I do like talking about stories of crypto, like cool stories. And so like the Silk Road that I've been talking about for like a bajillion years, but it's like halfway recorded. But anyways, hopefully I'll get my gear in together. I work at a company that I actually enjoy working at as well too, so I put in a lot of hours, and a lot of them are by choice. But yeah, if I could do crypto full time, that I wouldn't know what to do with myself, right? Anyways, that's it though. I'm gonna take off. Have a good one, everybody. Appreciate everyone watching, and appreciate people dealing with me. I know there's been some long-term time followers. There we go. That have been hitting me up and like, are you alright, man? So anyways, super appreciate that. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.